What's up everybody, welcome to another video here at Leave the Bubble, where we talk about expanding our comfort zones, dealing with changes and embracing challenges in life. My name is Phil and I'm still coming to you from beautiful Madrid. And seeing that in my last video I mentioned that I'm meeting with old friends and also getting to know amazing new people, I thought that today we should talk about small talk and how to never run out of things to say. I'm always surprised how we as human beings talk to each other every single day throughout our entire lives. And yet sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we can't muster the courage or the cognitive ability to come up with the simplest words during a conversation, especially in stress situations. For example, when you're meeting your boss's boss or you're talking to that cutie you just met. So in order to avoid these awkward moments, let's talk about a few things that we can do every day so that we can make sure that we never run out of things to say ever again. First things first, one of my favorite things that I like to do to always have conversational content available is brushing up on my general knowledge, making sure that I know about the latest trends in popular trivia or knowing what is going on in the news, for example, in the political or economical landscape of the country that I'm currently living in, or what are the biggest TV shows at the moment, what are the biggest cinema blockbusters, which team just won the championship, for example, right now the Euro Cup, or at the beginning of the year the Super Bowl, and so on. You get the idea. Have some high-level topics available that are easily slipped into any conversation so the chances are high that your counterpart will also have something to say about it. The idea is to know enough about a subject so that you can riff off one another. You don't need to be an expert, so read an article, listen to a podcast, or watch a video on a subject that interests you. Nowadays, it's so easy to learn something new every day, so do it and brush up on your general knowledge. The next thing that helps to develop a small talk into a great conversation is realizing the context behind the spoken words, or simply put, don't be too literal. For example, when a friend tells you, hey, I'm seeing Bob tomorrow, and you know from the context that Bob is this girl's best friend and they haven't seen each other for so long, then you can be excited and give an enthusiastic answer like, hey, that's amazing, you're gonna have so much fun. Whereas if you know that Bob is this girl's ex-boyfriend and things ended up quite badly, then you can provide her with a supportive answer like, hey, I know you're nervous, but everything's gonna turn out fine. Thinking beyond what is said and considering a little bit of context when possible goes a huge way when it comes to creating a rapport with someone. Now, let's say you've done all these things. You've done your research, you know all about the latest trends in popular trivia, you know about the news, you have listened carefully and considered any deeper context when possible, and yet somehow you found yourself in a conversation that landed on a topic that you know absolutely nothing about. So what do? You shut down and panic. No, don't worry about it. In these cases, it's very important to remember that you don't need to carry the conversation. As a matter of fact, people love to talk about themselves. So if you land on a topic that you know nothing about, but you see that your counterpart is super excited about it, ask deeper questions, ask clarifying questions, learn something new through this person, and you'll see that you will become a great conversation partner for your counterpart. This is also a great example to build on what the person previously said so that you can build on each other. For example, if you meet someone that's super into farming and they tell you all about their favorite pig called Bertha and their mud baths, then either you ask questions about Bertha and why this pig is so special to this person, what they have to do to take care of a pig and so on. But you can also say, hey, whoa, mud baths, okay, you can segue that into a new topic. For example, you just watched an episode of Suits where Louis Litt, one of the lawyers, regularly takes mud baths. And what do you know? This guy in his free time is a farmer, but he's a lawyer by trade. So what do you know? He's a huge Suits fan. And so you segue from one topic into the next. Or if he tells you that he also likes goats, and you start talking about goat cheese, then you can start asking questions. How do you produce goat cheese? Or what are some recipes that fit goat cheese prominently in the dish? And so you segue into a different topic, or you dive deeper into the first one. Either way is great to learn something new and to also keep the conversation going. So try a way to build on what the other person is saying by either asking clarifying or deeper questions, or try to segue into a related topic where hopefully both parties can contribute to the conversation as well. Now, something that I want to leave you with is that a conversation is not an exact science. We're not solving for X, trying to find the perfect input for that specific part in the conversation. The important thing here is to go with the flow, and if you come up with something funny to say, just say it. Oftentimes, what happens is that people stop themselves because of an inner filter they have. They want to say the exact right thing in that moment. They want to come off as a cool person. And what happens is you start second guessing yourself, and then you forget or you shut down and don't even contribute at all. And that is something that's a real shame. So try to be flexible and build on what your counterpart is saying. And if you come up with something you want to say, don't second guess yourself, go for it. It's important to not try to be perfect, because when you are, that does not come across as too authentic and too human, which at the same time then can be translated into not being too likable. Or if you turn it around, if you make some comment and it kind of fails or it was some sort of blunder, it's completely fine. Laugh it off and you'll see that that shows authenticity, and that's a very likable trait. So remove your inner filter and don't be too hard on yourself. Just go with the flow and be flexible in the conversation. Not knowing what to say in a specific situation oftentimes stops people from expanding their comfort zones or approaching someone due to fear of rejection or due to fear of coming off as awkward when they don't know what to say. I hope the short video helps you in your small talk improving mission, and hopefully with it you will never run out of things to say ever again. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, don't be afraid to leave your bubble.